Coming up on Look Today, well, in honor of the late Caroline Savitz, her family has donated Caroline's craft carts to Glens Falls Hospital. I've got details. Plus, we've got continuing coverage of the Saratoga Springs City Charter Review process. More on that coming up. And SUNY Adirondack will hold its annual Veterans Memorial Ceremony on Veterans Day. I've got more details. It's all ahead on Look Today. Welcome, everyone. I'm Jay Hood Jackson, and this is Look Today. Well, in tonight's program, I sit down with Richard Sellers and Joe Dalton. They're members of the group Success, and they're here to talk about why they are opposed to any proposed change in government in Saratoga. I also sit down with Maggie Frank. She's executive director of Wellspring, and she's here to give us an update on a very important fundraiser called the Purple Purse Challenge. Plus, we've got your weather for the Tri-North counties. But first, these headline stories. Well, in our lead story, in honor of the late Caroline Savitz, her family has donated Caroline's craft carts to Glens Falls Hospital. Caroline Savitz passed away last year from a rare form of cancer, sarcoma. Well, Caroline's carts will offer patients in the hospital a chance to knit, crochet, and take part in other arts and crafts. Well, the carts will honor Caroline's legacy as someone was always optimistic and never stopped fighting. Now, we sat down with Caroline's parents, Melissa and Stephen Savitz, and we spoke to them about where they got the idea from.
Well, we were at Sloan Kettering Hospital. They had half a floor of crafts, and there were people in there. Everyone who was in chemo, no hair, they were all very, very sick. And when they were doing crafts and everything else, you could see a smile on their face.
Great idea. All right. Well, we also spoke to Vicki Yataw. She's manager of oncology, education, and support services at Glens Falls Hospital.
So these carts are called Caroline's Craft Carts. These are in memory of one of our patients who had a rare form of sarcoma that while she was in getting treatment, she went to bigger centers who had these craft rooms, and that's what helped her pass the time. So when she ultimately lost her battle to cancer, her family said, we would like to do something in her honor.
Wow. Okay, in other news. Well, we've got continuing coverage, Saratoga Springs City Charter Review process. Now, as we get closer to the November 7 election, it is important to consider the bigger picture of what changing the form of government would actually look like. Now, those who are in favor of the change say that the city manager form of government will sufficiently keep up with the growth of Saratoga Springs. And we spoke to Bob Turner about this and his response to those who are skeptical of change.
It's trying to figure out what are the best policies for keeping a major employer like ACO in place. How can we best sustain the quality of life for the city, for all citizens going forward? How do we make our city council more representative of the people and community and allow more voices into the process?
Mm-hmm. Now, later on in the program, we'll have another perspective from Rich Sellers and Joe Dalton. All right, switching from news to weather. Today saw partly sunny, some overcast skies. Temperatures, however, felt like they were in the low 50s. Let's see how the week is shaping up. For a more detailed look at our weather, let's head to the Glens Falls Weather Center for a look at your first forecast.
Thanks, Jesse. I'm meteorologist Clarence Ponser with your first look weather update. Let's take a look at the national map for tonight. We have a cold front boundary making its way through portions of the south into portions of the mid-Atlantic as well. Low pressure, a deep low pressure off this and in southeast Canada with that light trough making its way across portions of the upper Midwest and across the upper Great Lakes. So that means we're in for a wet weather pattern as we head towards tonight, especially towards the western part of New York State into portions of western New England and, of course, southeast Canada. Temperatures across the Capital District, upper 30s to lower 40s, so a cool forecast. We're now getting into late October and early November. So don't be surprised to see somewhat chilly temps during the overnight each day. 38 in Glens Falls. Partly cloudy with that southwest breeze at 10 to 15 miles per hour. We continue to see sunshine for Tuesday, highs mid-50s. Wind chills will be mid-30s as you walk out the door with mostly sunny skies. upper 30s to lower 40s through the 8 a.m. hour. Rain chances won't come back in our area until Thursday as we continue to see even warming temperatures, although a little bit cooler for Wednesday. 51 the afternoon high, morning low at 30, so those coats are going to be a must if you're going to be out and about, especially Wednesday morning. Then those rain jackets come in earnest, 60 to 50% rain coverage Thursday and Friday. Temps in the upper 50s, then lower 50s with partly sunny skies. Temps around freezing for lows on Saturday. That's a look at the first look weather update. I'm meteorologist Clarence Ponsler. Now I'll send it back to you, Jesse.
Thanks very much, Clarence. All right, back to the news. Well, as part of all of the very, very impressive programming changes that are going on at SPAC, the critically acclaimed Sashal Ensemble from Pakistan is performing tonight at the Spa Little Theater right on the SPAC grounds. Now, the group's story is very unique, which is told in the documentary, by the way. The documentary is called The Song of Lahore. Now, the message of their music brings people together despite differences and politics. We spoke to Elizabeth Sobel. She's the president of SPAC.
It's so easy to cast people who appear different than you do for whatever reason as the other. And I think that when people hear the music and they sense people's souls and their kindness and their love coming through music, it just creates, it takes down at least one layer of the wall and says, you know, at heart we're all human.
Wow. Okay, in other news, well, SUNY Adirondack will hold its annual Veterans Memorial Ceremony. It's going to happen on Veterans Day, November 11. The ceremony will take place at the Vietnam Monument on campus. We spoke to Ruben Acevedo. He's Veterans Benefits Advisor for New York State Division of Veterans Affairs.
We're having a Veterans Day ceremony, which we have every year to honor our veterans from the area. We'll be setting up on the campus over by the monument, and we'll have some guest speakers who will be talking about their experiences in the military and how those experiences help them and can help other veterans in the future.
Great. Up next, I sit down with Richard Sellers and Joe Dalton. They're members of a group called Success, and they're here to talk about why they're opposed to a change in government in Saratoga. And I also sat down with Maggie Fromm. She's executive director of Wellspring, and she's here to give us an update on a very important fundraiser called the Purple Purse Challenge. But first, if you see news happening, you want to share a story idea, how about join us for an interview? Then give us a call on the hotline. The number is 798-8000. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Look Today. It's Monday, so we like to look ahead. Another big week here. Saratoga Plan is coming in. We've got a benefit that's featuring the Gibson brothers. That'll be fun. Candace Fry from LARAC is coming in. Great to get an update on LARAC. Chuck Lamb, musician extraordinaire, is coming in. We're doing an interview about the jazz series at Cafe Lena. You want to catch that one. Sarah Craig, speaking of Cafe Lena, and none other than Sonny Bonaccio will be in this week to talk about all the changes at Cafe Lena. And Paula Tancredi Penman, part of the Wilton Five, is coming in. She's running for office up there in Wilton. And just a quick reminder that the Purple Purse Challenge, go to Wellspring's website and donate. They're dangerously close to getting a $100,000 grant that will go directly back to help Wellspring fight domestic violence in our community. And also, if you're catching an early broadcast, head over to the Spa Little Theater on the SPAC grounds for the Sashal Ensemble. I've seen them, and it's absolutely incredible to see these musicians from Pakistan interpret American jazz. Tonight on Look TV, it's Beyond the Headlines and play-by-play. It's the last game of the season. Don't forget, tune in tomorrow night for the stories that matter to you. Good night, everyone.